Dialed in
to Box and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these stuff.
because they know the brews.
And they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
Bucks and brews.
Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. So we're going to do a little bit different episode. We do these a few times a year. But we're going to do a mental health check because we hate ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think we need to have a little bit of a dump here. So we're probably not going to go ultra long tonight, maybe about an hour. Nick's got a lot of stuff to do. He leaves for Reno tomorrow, so he wants to get some family time in before he leaves. And I'm not sure how much how long we want to talk about how much we hate ourselves.
Right.
So, Nick, hit us with your normal beginning now.
Yeah. So, guys, as always, we appreciate you listening to us. If you wouldn't mind, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We are very open about our lives for the most part, and we came into this as two guys that drink beer and talk money, and we just want you to know that we're normal. And when people say, "Hey, you put your pants on one leg at a time," I mean, really, I stumble to put my pants on, but say, it's just really, we do these episodes because we care. I had a buddy reach out to me tonight who's going through the identical fucking thing that I've gone through and go through periodically.
Mhm.
And it's very hard for us. As business people, I don't want to say as men aspect, right? But like as business people, because I would assume, you understand what your wife's doing in business. So it's kind of but I would assume if a woman is building a business aspect and she's not around as much, the husband's going to feel the same way. Hey, I just don't see you and stuff like that. So sometimes you run into that, right? Which leads me into, before we get going, I guess I'll tell you guys, I'm drinking some Bud Light tonight because it's a great beer, tried and true, always the blue.
I drank that exclusively Friday night. Probably had about 8 to 10 pictures with Mike.
Let's say there you go.
It did not turn either of us transgender. I'm kind of disappointed.
There you go. What do you got? Looks fun.
It is fun. So I picked these up at Benny's in Chicago. I got some Mountain Dew hard sodas. I have a Baja Blast tonight, which I have in the glass right now, and it tastes delicious. And then I have a Code Red. And then if I get done with those and I want something, beery, I have a vanilla porter from Breckenridge Brewery. So we'll see if I get to that. I may or may not, since we're not going to be on super long tonight. You bring up the business thing, and I made the comment lately that I've entered the season where I'm single again.
Yep.
Because I have softball and she has work and I have my work, and I've hit on this a little bit, so I'm not coming into the business anymore.
Right.
Things went down last year and they kind of reared again end of the year, and then again a couple 3 weeks ago, and I don't feel overly comfortable with the business. There's some people here that I do not get along with. I don't really want to be around them. I told Dawn it's not a safe place for me right now, so I just won't be there.
Right.
Which hurts in a lot of ways, because as much as she built this business, it was built on my back.
Right.
I mean, I was the main person here for the first 6 months because she still had to do shipped. She couldn't just take a salary because she took a small loan to open.
Right.
So there was no money really to pay her. So I worked here for free for the first 6 months we were open, and she didn't really start coming in until end of November, beginning of December.
Yep.
So it was really me. And to not feel like I can come in now, that cuts pretty deep.
Yeah, especially because it's, your business.
It
right?
is. It's my business as well. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this place. And
Yep.
I unfortunately I don't feel I haven't run financial projections in almost a month.
Yeah.
I have no desire right now. I don't wear t-shirts from here right now.
Really?
I've totally cut myself out.
Yeah, I wore your Breaks a Lottle shirt just the other day. Sorry. you know what, on air, right? I mean, this is who we are. I texted you today.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting at one of my flips inside by myself. I mean, the house is 90% of the 99% of the way done.
Mhm.
And I wrote to you, dude. I was like, I hate myself and don't know why. And I was like, well, I guess I mean I know why. I just don't want to feel this way.
Right.
Right. Like, I'm under sorry to say I'm under some stress, right? Things aren't going normal is what I will say, right? It's not as planned. You know, you can tell yourself you know what you're doing and run it as long as possible, but you don't know how you're gonna feel while doing it, if that makes any sense, right? Um, and to be honest with people, it's the fact that you know I'm doing 3 flips currently, right? And I just have a shit ton of cash out there. And so, I told myself, "Oh, hey, it's gonna be business growth. It's I'm gonna do really well in the end." But man, it's the journey that's really tough, right? And
Yeah.
and it's not that I'm not enjoying the part of the journey, it's that I'm stressed about the financial part of it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like you watch a bank account go from a shit ton of money to what you told yourself was zero, and now you're like, oh crap, okay, it's now I'm 2 months away from the actual close into seeing money back, and it's like, oh, I'm already at the stress point, right? So now I have to, can I power through 2 more months? What else can I do? How else can I make this happen? And the ones that power through are the ones that succeed, right? Just shouldn't be that way for the rest of it. So um and trust me, it takes a lot to text that out to like, as a guy. But one thing that we talk about on here is reach out, right? Always reach out, because you know what? I mean, sometimes it takes that just to say it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we struggle as much as anybody else does because this is, I mean, we're real on this. So,
Yeah.
being guys, we don't necessarily do a good job of showing all of our emotions. We're, you and I especially, we try to be strong. We try to be strong for everyone around us, and that it's exhausting,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Well, and it's say it's really hard. And it's hard to admit some things sometimes, but um you and I don't like to be vulnerable, because when we're vulnerable, we become complete assholes. We become like, just because we feel we have to attack, right?
Right.
And you mentioned I'm going to Reno,
Yep.
right? And people don't know that I actually have high anxiety.
Mhm.
And so like leading up, and here I am, and I'm just sitting here going, "Oh my god, like I'm a big person. I know this, right?" It's funny because it's probably been about a year now that I've actually felt fat. Okay? Like normally it's like, "All right, hey, you're a big dude." Like, yeah, but like I had so much confidence, man. I had so much confidence back younger, right? Younger me was just
Nobody would know your weight was an issue.
correct.
Nobody would know my weight is an issue. Nobody would know.
Right. Like, I carry myself well.
Yep.
I hold myself high. Sure, I dress in blue jeans and a t-shirt, but like Nick looks like he's just enjoying things. And that's right normally it. And so, but now it's like, oh shit, if I get on this plane, like, and a lot of it might be social media, because like you see people like, oh hey, I got this guy next to me and he's taking up the fucking chair.
Could any of it be what the story that I sent to you from the airport the other day?
I didn't see it.
I had texted you. So I'm at the airport in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And we're waiting to get on the plane, and it's like an hour until we board.
Yeah.
And they keep flashing, along the display there that the plane is 49% full. Don't sit by anybody. Feel free to spread out.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, one of the ticketing agents walks past, and she stops in front of me, and she goes, "Hi, sir. How are you?" "Fine." Are you able to sit in the seat with both arms down?" Excuse me? Well, I mean, you're a bigger guy. Are you able to sit? Have you flown with us before? Can you sit in the seat with both arms down? And Dawn looks at her and goes, he'll be fine.
Wow.
And she goes, oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure. And she walked away. And Dawn sat there for 2 or 3 minutes without saying a word. And I looked at her, I'm like, the fuck?
Dude, like, see that? Like,
so hang on.
God,
She gets up, she walks over to the counter, and the chick's hair is covering her name tag. And she goes, can you brush your hair across so that I can see your name tag? The lady goes, why? Dawn goes, because I said so. She does. And she goes, now what? She goes, nothing, thank you. Walked away. And I get a text with the lady's name. She goes, I'll be calling Southwest tomorrow and bitching and moaning because that's fucking bullshit. She could have taken you aside, but no, she has to sit there and do it in front of everybody. Mind you, I can sit in the chair with both arms down. It's just fucking uncomfortable.
Right.
But, and it more caught me off guard than anything.
Yeah.
But the fucking audacity of this woman. And if you didn't see that, I'm sorry I just brought that up because I know that's going to cause you even more anxiety
like,
now.
So much more, dude. Like,
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Like, I probably would just be like, give me my fucking money back for my ticket. I'm gonna drive out and it'll take me 24 hours to get there.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh my God, no. Like, and it's funny because I don't change, but I do, right? Like when I don't want to, I put myself in I try to be very outgoing and very polite to a lot of people during this time, right? Like, hey, well, because I just want people to know that I'm a decent fucking human being, right? Like I don't want to be publicly humiliated in this sense of things. So, and like I'm looking at my flight chart and it's pretty full fucking flight, right? Like,
Which doesn't help you anymore.
No, not at all. So
I think you and I should bounce around between the shit that's bothering us because I don't know how in depth either of us want to get.
Yeah.
So my big issue lately here is, I had a falling out with a former player and it kind of went the way it went. And I was kind of a huge dickhead and I apologized, but it wasn't received, which is fine.
Yep.
Just because you apologize doesn't mean people are going to accept it.
It's true.
And that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. And unfortunately, people keep bringing her around. And for me, that's an issue because we're not in a good place.
Right.
And we probably never will be. And a lot of that is my fault.
Yep.
But I'm not going to live in the world where I have to be an asshole all of the fucking time. I already live in a world where I'm an asshole most of the time.
Yep.
But I'm not going to be an asshole all the time. So I have said in no uncertain terms, stop bringing this person around. I've told pretty much everyone. And they continue to do it. So the most recent time it happened, I flipped the fuck out.
Yep.
Which, Nick, if you tell me not to do something and I continue to do it, how long is it going to take you to flip out?
Not long.
So I made it perfectly fucking clear 4 months ago. Don't ever do this again. And then here we are.
4 months, right.
So I flip the fuck out because that's what I do.
I'm really upset with your fucking story. I want you to know that.
Why?
Because now I literally am just
I am
so anxious.
Honestly, so sorry. I thought I had sent you the text and you're like, well, that's kind of bullshit.
Huh. Yeah.
You obviously didn't read it very closely.
I apparently
very sorry that I
that's
brought it back up.
No, it's all right. I just like that generally is one of my biggest fears.
I don't fly with Southwest because I want to make sure I'm next to my wife or my daughter so that I don't have this problem.
You pick the spots, right? Well, and that's, I'll pay the extra money because when we fly to Florida, like my wife's like, oh, you fit on the flight to Florida. I'm like, yeah, but I have my 7-year-old right next to me and I get to pick the seat where she goes. Like we pay the extra $13 so that way I know I have this room, right? I can't, sure, could I buy 2 seats? People listening would be like, oh, just buy 2 seats.
I don't want to spend another $400.
$780.
Okay.
Right? Well, then don't go. Well, lose weight. Okay, if it was that fucking easy, right?
Everybody would do it.
Yeah, and it's like
stop drinking.
I looked at first class, right? I plain and simple. I looked at first class, but it's a $1,900 flight, and I was like, I could just drive out, and people are gonna be like, why don't you just drive out? Well, I'm gonna have to get there.
You don't want to spend all that extra time driving,
right? And it's yes, I'm still cheap, right? Well, you can't have both. You're right, I can't. So that's why I deal with it.
It doesn't mean it doesn't cause you anxiety,
right? That's exactly it, right? Like, sure, do I know that there's ways to fix things? Yes. Am I willing to do it? Apparently not, right? Like,
Well,
you know, I was working out and I was losing a little bit of weight, and I burnt my fucking foot. So then I couldn't. I mean, I have no band-aid on it, right? It's just absolutely horrible. So I haven't worked out in about a month, and it sucks, right? Like, because I felt like I was on the right path and doing the right things, and I'm bowling, and 1:30 today, I'm sitting kind of like this at my table, and my hand is absolutely in some fucking pain. So I think like I have arthritis or tendonitis like flaring right now, because it just kills along the pinky side
Yep.
here and extremely in the palm. And yeah, so I'm just like, so I texted my best friend and I was like, hey, is your husband bringing his bowling balls? I just want to be very clear on what I'm going through right now. I was like, I'm not trying to screw around, because hey, I'm not coming, but like, yeah, that's the hard part is I don't know what the fuck's going on,
Yeah.
right?
You may or may not be able to throw well.
Right.
Well, I mean, and I understand that. It's my daughter bowled in high school.
Yep.
And in the afternoon and evening, she was one of the best bowlers in the area.
Yeah.
But in the morning, her hand swelled because of her arthritis, and she was lucky if she threw a 110.
Yeah.
I mean, that kept her from going to state. Her first 2 games at the state tournament or at the regional tournament, she bowled a 110 and a 128. And that kept her from going to state because she ended up 20 pins short.
Yeah. You're saying that, and it sucks. Right.
So I mean,
But and people would say, oh, well, then you wake up 5 hours earlier, right? So that way it's not.
and your body doesn't always work that way.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm struggling with things here, obviously, and one person in particular called me a child and a baby.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say I'm not, but at the same time, the reason that this person called me a child and a baby are absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
So again, I don't deny what I am. I might be acting like a child. I might be acting like a baby, but not for the fucking reasons you're saying
Right.
that I'm acting like a child or a baby. I might be an asshole. I am an asshole, okay? But probably not for the reasons everybody thinks I'm an asshole. Okay? I'm honest, but I'm fair. And at the end of the day, all I want is people to just be fucking fair. So like we had a parent yesterday bitching and moaning about everything we did. And I'm not going to say much about this parent other than the fact that they haven't been around enough to fucking know anything.
Right.
And if you've been around enough to know anything, which honestly, no parent we have ever will be, because they're not fucking there. Maybe then you can have your opinion. Until that point comes, I'm not a part-time softball coach. I'm a fucking professional.
Right.
I've poured my heart and soul into this game for 20 fucking years. I'm really good at what I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fuck up. I called 3 changeups in a row to a girl yesterday. She watched the first 2 go by, and she hit the third one 220 fucking feet.
Yeah.
And Chris at the other end of the dugout, you can't call 3 changeups in a row. I'm like, I got cocky. She wasn't swinging. I'm like, fuck it. If she ain't gonna swing, I'm gonna keep calling it.
Yep.
The minute she hit the ball, I yelled out to Kendall, hey, Kendall, that's on me. I fucked that up.
Yep.
Because I did. I got cocky.
Yep.
That's my home run, not hers. Mine.
She got, you give somebody the ability to time it up 3 times in a row.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
And this was a disciplined hitter. She knows you don't swing at a changeup until you have 2 strikes.
Yep.
But when you have 2 strikes, you have 2 options: hammer it or foul it off. And she hammered the shit out of that ball.
Yep.
Kudos to her.
Different.
I give her a standing ovation,
Yeah,
because that was a great pitch, and she did exactly what she needed to do with it, 220 feet away.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's on me.
Yep.
But I'm a professional at this. I've done this for 20 years. I know what I'm doing.
Well, and we can go back to a different scenario when you and I coached, right?
Yeah.
And because we don't give a shit about this. We have a young girl who's causing issues, doing things, and
Her
and-
uncle's a piece of shit, by the way.
to say, right? But so then the parent requests a meeting,
Oh, this is a different kid, but yeah.
and so then we decide, hey, all right, we'll have this meeting. You're like, hey, the assistants are going to be there, the parents are going to be there, And so then the mom comes out and she's like, my daughter plays basketball and
Volleyball.
Well,
It was volleyball and basketball.
yeah, I say plays. And when she had a problem, the coach said, we sat and talked with the coach and did this. Okay. And then she plays volleyball and, she has a problem. Then we sit and the coach and, we do this. And with you guys, you're doing this. And right. You just sat there and I was like, wait. And I spoke and I was like, let me get this right. So she fucks up once, doesn't learn from it. Fucks up twice, doesn't learn from it. And you want me to give a third time. I'm not like, this isn't how this works, right? It sounds like you didn't do your job to convince your kid not to fuck up, right?
This might be my favorite parent meeting ever because you were so much more calm than that. You said, listen. So she screwed up in volleyball and they called you.
Yep.
And you didn't fix it. And then she screwed up in basketball and they called you and you still didn't fix it. So then she screws up here and we don't call you because that's not what we do. And you're mad because we didn't call you to fix it. And she goes, well, I don't like the way you're describing it. And you go, well, I don't like her attitude or yours.
Say, right? Plain and simple is don't hold me to that accountability of holding your kid's hand. Like I'm making the kid better. I'm doing my job the correct way. You're apparently not doing yours, right? And I'm not telling you how to raise your kid. All I'm telling you is I'm not going to support this, right? Like you're not going to bad talk. You're not going to skip practices and still be able to show up. You're not, whatever the heck it was. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, I don't really remember either.
Just we know it was bad attitude and bad everything, and might have cussed at an umpire for all we know. And
I don't remember.
We just weren't tolerating it. So, but it was just I looked at it and I said, no, this isn't how this works, right?
Again, fair.
Yep, very
fair.
Yep, and so I'll have an educated conversation, but I'm not going to sit here and play games, right?
Well, I mean, when I look at stuff, so like, can we talk a little bit about the Facebook thing?
Yeah, I was going. Yeah, we'll get there
because I want to talk about the Facebook thing. So I go out.
I don't.
I go out Friday with my daughter and one of her best friends and Mike, who's on the show a lot.
Yep.
And we went down to Angels because we want to take Caitlin and get her a couple, dances from some girls, and she had a blast. And while I'm down there, Mike and I drank, like I said, 8 to 10 pitchers of Bud Light, and we were really good until the last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it was not good. But anyways, I'm getting text messages from Nick in the middle of the night about a Facebook post. And I was so fucking confused.
Yeah.
And I finally text back. I'm like, who is this? And he's like, well, it's so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, great. So basically what happened is this guy thought Nick was shitting on him.
And I'll read the post, right? I set a personal record of $2,000 in legal cannabis sales.
No. Read it verbatim.
Yeah, I am. I set a personal record of $2,000 in legal cannabis sales in a 4-hour sales shift. Our dispensary turns 2 weeks old today. Stop by and pick up one of our house ounce for 55 doll hairs. DOLL
space.
Yeah.
Hyphen
hairs, right? So and by my brain, every time I hear doll hairs,
you think of the Kevin James Sandler movie. Yeah,
right. I was gonna write that down. Right. And it's hilarious to me,
is.
Right?
It's funny.
Yeah. And he goes, we love you, Grand Rapids. Thank you for letting me share this medicine with you.
And what did you do?
I put the laughy emoji.
Why?
Because he said doll hairs.
And it was funny, right?
Yeah. I was like, well, doll hairs.
You seem to be, because you put the laughing emoji, the biggest piece of shit parasite in the fucking world.
Yep.
Do you want to go over any of that?
Yeah. So the response was, and it just didn't, all it was tagging me, right? And it said, Nick Watkins, eat my ass. Here, and then here's a spoon to help you, spoon emoji. And I said, Derek, really? Cool. Okay, buddy. And he goes, lick my leftist pro-trans anti-landlord balls. I will outlive you in the end, fear truth.
Hang on. Are you anti-trans?
No,
I didn't think so, because you and I have known each other a long time.
kind of weird.
You put on the first Pride event in Hudsonville.
In Hudsonville, yeah.
Hudsonville, which is very, very Christian, conservative,
Yep.
white.
Yep.
I just wanted to clarify.
Okay. Right. I've done probably more than what this kid has with his speech, right?
Absolutely.
It's funny because I said because I care if you outlive me. Anyway, it wreaks fucking.
It continued to
havoc.
go on just like that.
Yeah. I said, funny, you're anti-landlord, but still rent because he used to rent and stuff like that. Oh, and he goes, I don't. I probably live with family because predator landlords like you have enjoyed fucking the system for single income professionals. Again, here's your spoon. Eat my ass. Back down. Just because you're a mountain doesn't mean you can bully people smarter than you.
I haven't yet heard how he's smarter.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I didn't get into that.
I'm not gonna bust anybody for what they do, because there are plenty of really smart people that have, a sales job at things.
Yeah, right. They don't want the stress and the anxiety.
I was talking, I believe, to Christy earlier today, and I'm like, listen, it might have even been to you. If you're selling something, I think it was to you. If you're selling something that everyone wants, it's not a brag to say I sold X number of dollars. So I use the analogy with you. If I'm a salesperson, okay, and let's say you could sell people, and I could sell an 18-year-old blonde that would do anything you want, that would be the easiest sales in the world, because every guy would line up and go, I need an 18-year-old blonde that will just say yes.
Yeah, it'd be like selling water in a desert.
It would be like selling water in a desert.
Yeah.
He's selling legal cannabis, which many people
he doesn't own. He doesn't own the store.
No, he's just a salesperson there.
Correct.
I do not like cannabis. I don't have a problem with it, but it stinks. I think it smells like shit, which makes it taste like shit. I don't want anybody smoking it near me. I don't want you to give me a fucking edible. My wife will take edibles for her pain. Have at it. I'm glad it helps. She's given me one before. It didn't do a damn thing for me.
Sure.
All it does is taste like shit. I'm not down. But there are people that are.
Yep.
And for those people, that's great. I'm glad it helps. But again, you're selling something that people want in an abundancy, not something that's hard to sell. You're not selling, the sun in Egypt,
right?
Because they have plenty of that. They don't need any more. Nope. You're not selling sand to a fucking desert,
right?
Because they don't need any more fucking sand. They need water.
Yep. And but it kept going, and the amount
way too long.
The amount of whatever
you put up with. I'm gonna interrupt again, because that's just how I am today.
And that was
you were drunk, and put up with an obscene amount of bullshit before you actually engaged.
Yeah.
Your answers were, "Oh, that's cool. That's how you feel. Whatever. I'll remember that."
Yep.
And then it turned into, you know what? Fuck you, buddy. Show up to my fucking place. I'll kick you right the fuck off.
Yep. I even told him, it was funny because on one part of it, I was like, I hope you screenshot this and you remember it, because I'm not going to let this go.
And you have screenshots of all of it.
The whole entire thing.
As do I.
And
does that exist anymore?
Oh, he deleted it by the morning.
Of course he did.
And it was funny because I told him, I was like, the funny thing is my laugh emoji. I was like, all this started because my laugh emoji is because you said the word doll hairs.
Yep.
I was like, you didn't ask, you didn't do anything. I was like, because you follow me. And you should, from what I do, you'd see I support a lot of shit, right? I mean, I even told him, I even called him out. I was like, it's funny because, when you were wanting to go spread wildflowers throughout the fucking state or doing whatever, hey, I'm going here. I literally donated to your fucking cause just so you can go spread fucking wildflowers. I was like, whenever you had something, I've always been there to fucking make sure that, hey, I'm here for you, right? And you're literally just going to be this guy. You're going to hate me because I'm a fucking landlord. Like, I was having so I, it sparked a conversation with my wife and I, which
Mhm.
kind of needed to happen. But um, I we talk about it on here, right? I try really hard. It takes a lot for me to do to charge more money, right? I set a price. This is what I expect, and I expect it in the first, right? Again, I don't want your late money. I don't want to take your late money. I just want you to be on time. I want,
Yeah, just pay on time.
let's say, right? Um,
You have a late fee in there because you have to.
it goes back to the whole weight thing. Yeah. I want to fit in the seat. You got to do this, right? And sometimes shit happens, right? Like, yes. Is it in my control? Yes, but I couldn't just lose weight in 2 seconds to fit on this plane. Okay. It's not how it works. So can I do something about it the next one? Sure. But, so it's that type of thing that just gets to me, and to just shit on me. And you were here, and you
Yeah.
might have heard half the conversation, right? So I have friends that just moved into a rental, and
Yep.
they're talking about certain things. And my wife's like, "Hey, what's the legal law?" So this, here's how I would go about this. And then they're like, "Oh, the landlord hasn't done this." And I was like, "No, like, because you know what? I'm pro landlord very much, but I'm also pro making sure us landlords hold ourselves to this high accountability, right?
If they do stupid shit, it makes a bad name for you.
That's exactly it, right? That's how people think the way this asshole thinks,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I don't want that. Like, I sure everybody knows I don't own fucking granite countertops in my place, right? I also don't get $2,000 a month.
Well, I mean, it's the same with coaching. I mean, I coached a guy who he was a coach and he's a fucking pedophile.
Oh.
And because he's a fucking pedophile, it gives coaches a bad fucking name. I'm not a pedophile. I don't touch my kids.
Yeah.
They're kids. They're fucking kids.
Yeah.
You don't do that shit.
Yep.
And I told people when I was coaching his kid, I'm like, that guy's a fucking creep. You need to keep an eye on him.
Mhm.
And everybody's like, no, he's good. No, guess what? He was fucking a bunch of his players because he's a piece of shit.
Yep.
And he's in jail now for that because he's a piece of shit.
And
Try this.
yeah, please. I say we share a lot of our life with you guys, and
We
we know that this is getting out to the world, and we want you to know that we're all going through it. We all go through it.
Well, and thank you, Cambodia, for listening to us because we do get a decent amount of listeners in Cambodia.
Yeah.
What do you think? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great, but it's okay.
It's vanilla, huh?
The vanilla port. I don't really taste much of the vanilla.
That's weird because
I get the roasted malts. I don't get.
is
the
that
malts.
okay? Is that what it was?
Yeah, roasted malts. I
I
get
was like,
that.
man, I felt like there was like a chocolate aspect to it.
Hey,
but
do you know where?
balls.
Do you know where I was today?
Where?
I was eating fake chicken at contract testing. Here, $25.
Nice.
That's our financial part today.
Was that today?
I did one today.
Yeah. Let's say we do some stuff, and you can go test products and things like that. And
This was fake chicken. It was spicy fake chicken.
Oh.
The first two were really good.
there you go.
Like I would eat it. The third one was all spice, no chicken.
Ooh, I'm in. But
You would have liked it.
yeah, and so sometimes you get things such as like beef jerky or
A lot of chips
goldfish or
and
chips or
crackers.
yep, and it's just all random, and so I'll run through it, and it'll be like, yeah, hey, you can do it, and then it's like, hey, how much frozen fish do you eat? Fish sticks, and I'm like, I ain't doing that one, because it asks you like, do you have any allergies? Do you have anything that you won't eat? And I'm like, no, I mean, because again, 99% is all stuff I'll eat.
Right.
It's you know what? I'm not a fish guy.
Yeah.
Just so I just yep, I don't qualify for this test. I'm gonna take myself right out of it.
You want to know what's stupid?
What's that?
I fucking hate fish.
Yeah.
But I'll eat tuna fish.
I'll eat tuna fish.
I'll eat some shrimp.
Nope.
But I'll eat a fucking McDonald's fish fillet.
No.
I love them.
Really?
I fucking hate fish, but I love a fish fillet.
Yeah, I eat,
Fucking love it.
when I say I eat tuna, what I really mean is I eat mayo, and tuna
And
happens to be
a little bit of tuna.
yeah, right. Like
I mean, I get a lot of vegetables in my tuna because Dawn will put onion and celery and green pepper.
No, time out. No, we need to talk about your mental health, because
Is it the celery?
yeah, fact, it's
You-
fucking celery.
you know what my-
psychos eat celery.
You know what my aunt used to call celery? My aunt that you loved,
Yeah,
she called it green hair.
hey, I can see that, because nobody should be eating that shit.
I will eat the
Um,
shit out of that in certain things.
Nope, can't do it.
Put peanut butter on it too. I'll eat it that
Nope.
way. Yep.
Nope.
Totally love it.
Just not my thing. I can't figure out how to put my hand.
Yeah, your
I gotta get
arm's
some
really
ice.
hurting.
Yeah. And I just don't know how to put it, and what to do with it. So
You know what helps with that?
no, it helps with shoulder pain. I don't know what helps.
It's close enough.
Yeah. Let's say. But yeah, so like that, and that really, because of how much I go out of my way to take care of people and to be a good fucking human being, right? I practice what I preach most of the time, right? Like I attempt to do that.
So I've been learning a lot in therapy, and I said this to my therapist. So according to my wife, therapy doesn't help me.
Sure.
And I talked to Angela, and she goes, "No, I don't believe that at all, because you used to come here and you were angry. Everything made you angry. You're just angry all the time."
Yeah.
And she goes, "And you haven't said angry a lot in the last couple of years. You just tell me how you're hurt." So I'm going to ask some leading questions here.
Does that room have a ice machine?
No.
No freezer?
Freezer, yes.
Does it have ice in it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We could check.
I think I'm gonna get an ice pack.
It might.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, leading questions.
Did it hurt you?
Right away?
No, like, what happened? Did it hurt you? Like, are you sitting there going, "Yeah, fuck you, I'm pissed," or underlying, is it hurtful?
Yeah.
So you're pissed. I get it.
Yeah.
Because pissed is safe.
Yep.
When we're pissed, that's a safe feeling for us because we get pissed a lot.
Yep.
But under that being pissed, you're hurt.
Yeah. And it's not like it was, I'm hurt because what he was saying was true. I'm hurt again because of how hard I feel I try, right? Because of the amount of times that you support, hey, Nick, it's not you. Hey, Nick, it's not you, right? Like you're not the problem.
I don't know how many times I've said you're the anomaly,
right?
Because you're not the typical landlord. You're not the one doing this. You don't raise your
I'm not big
prices.
business.
Yeah, you don't raise your prices 100% year to year.
Right.
But a lot of places do. They're looking at increases and they're like, "Well, I got 1,100 for this last year, but going rate's 22. So guess what? You pay $2,200 now." And people are like, "Well, I can't fucking afford that."
Right.
Whereas you're sitting there going, "I really could use an extra $25 out of you this month."
Well, I sit there and it's not even just that. It's I look and I go, okay, my taxes went from, and this is just round figures. I went from $9,000 to $11,000. I was losing money, and now I'm losing $2,000 more. I can't afford that. Okay, gas prices. My old gas prices were $900 a month. My new gas prices are $1,100. So now I'm $2,200. I'm going from my water bills, right? I've had anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000, right? And so it's like, here I am minus just $4,000 a month, and I can't afford this. Otherwise, I won't have a place for you to rent, right? Like I didn't pay cash for it, and even if I did, I'd still have all these taxes and everything, right? So I have to send it back to you, right? And here, and you know what? So like, hey, I was fine with eating 2,000 a month, but I can't. Now it's 4,000, so I'll still eat 2,000. How do I make that 2,000 divided by the amount of places in the building, right? And the problem is the government, right? They're the ones that tax me. I didn't raise, if the government never raised my fucking taxes, if the water bill stayed consistent, if the gas stayed consistent, if everything stayed consistent, you know what? I mean, I'll be honest, I probably still would do $5. $5, $10, right? Something like that, because, hey, now I have the wear and tear on the toilet, and I have, I probably got called for something, and I have those types of bills, right? And so, yes, am I afraid to admit that I would still raise it a little bit? But I mean, dude,
but we're talking a little bit. We're talking a little bit of wear and tear.
We had conversations of.
We're not talking $600 a month.
No, right, and the highest I've ever raised to anybody, one person, right, is $50 now, right?
Which is fair.
And it took
how many years?
2.5. It took 2 years to actually raise that person.
So I remember the last apartment I lived in was $775 a month.
Yeah.
And they were raising us to 800.
Oh, we got a conversation about that. But
And Dawn and I sat there and we're like, we can't fucking sign a lease for $800 a month for another year. We just can't do it. So we went month to month for $825. We paid an extra $25 just so we could get out when we wanted.
when you needed to.
Right. And still, for us, it was not cost effective. I was making $8.50 an hour. She was making maybe $9.
Yeah.
And I was only working 30 hours a week. So I mean, I was making nothing.
Right.
And she wasn't working a hell of a lot more, maybe 40, and had a couple of jobs. So I mean, we had no money.
Right.
And looking at paying an extra $25 a month, it just wasn't cost effective for us. And of course, we prescribed to it's easier to keep a tenant than to gain a tenant. So I mean, at that point, we're like, hey, we're struggling. If you don't raise it, we're happy to stay. And they were like, well, fuck you, we're going to raise it. So it really doesn't matter. Again, big company, they were like, they didn't give a shit.
Yep.
And that's fine.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it sounds really fucking weird because I have a tenant who has been late a few times, right? And
You kicked him out immediately, right?
Here's some I'm gonna pat Nick on the back fucking stories, right? And this usually is my first way that I deal with things. Okay. If you were late the first time, it's $35. And now actually I've raised it to 50 because I've also given days to be late, if that makes any sense. So
yeah.
I've made it.
You give a grace period.
Yeah. And I didn't used to. Okay. So now.
So let's say it's due on the 1st. You might give them till the 6th or 7th, maybe, or the 5th or whatever.
Yeah. The 3rd or the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Depending.
And so it's just, I'm getting better at being graceful.
Yeah. Right.
But, you know, because it used to be like, hey, I just want my money and I want it on this date and I don't, you know, like, not that I want to, like, it's just, this is what I've offered you. This is when you should pay it. And because you know, if your credit card bill is due on the 27th, you owe it on the 27th. And if it's the 28th, you fucking late. Like, that's just how it is. Like, you have a 30-day grace period to get the money. You know what I'm saying? There's no grace in that aspect. Like, this is the due date. This is when it's due. That's how my brain works. That's how I pay all my bills. That's how I do my life. Right. And so I assume that that's what I'm going to hold everybody else to. Well, I've learned that that's not how you can treat everybody because America apparently needs to have their hand held. Fine.
There's a lot of that. Yeah.
Fine. I will give you 3 days so that way I'm not collecting. But anyway, so going into it, right? And honestly, even if you didn't tell me you're going to be late the first month, right? But you know, hey, the second comes around, let's just call it the 4th now, whatever. I don't have it. I text you, hey, just wondering what the heck rent is. Yeah, I'm going to pay you Friday. Okay. I will instantly respond with, hey, from here on out, I just want to remind you that you need to let me know that you're going to be late so I can account for when the money is coming in, right? Because I still have to pay my bills and have to figure out what the money is. And I will then say, hey, just let you know, on Friday you owe me a late fee. So let's just say rent $750, and let's say it's $50. The first time, and I've done this every time. The first time you're going to hand me $800, and I usually carry cash, but normally people don't just pay me in $100 bills, right?
Right.
It's usually a mix of stuff. I literally take the entire thing of $50 and I hand it back to you. And I mean, I could think about all of them, but the first time, right? Like most of my people are families, and the one had his kid with him and stuff like that. But like, I just instantly go, hey, take this. I'm going to give this back to you. Take your family out to pizza. Consider it a gift from me. Thank you so much for being with me. But again, please, just a reminder, if you're going to be late, just make sure you let me know that it's going to be late so I can do this. And I always give that first one back. Always. And I always make sure that I tell them they have to go spend it on something to enjoy, because that's money they should have not had. You can go save it for the next one, so I guarantee I get paid. But like, go enjoy yourself. No harm, no foul. I don't think any less of you. I don't think, you know, like, this is what it is.
God, you sound like such an asshole.
Like that's who I am, right? On your first one. Your second one, depending on if you followed my rules. So if you told me you're late, you're going to be late. Most of the time, I don't even, because I can't tell you, I don't want to lie, right? I don't ever intentionally lie. I can't tell you if I've given them all back or whatever, but like if it's back-to-back months, we'll figure it. But I just don't know. Normally, if you followed my rules and said, hey, I'm gonna be late, can I pay you Friday? And it's, just whatever, I'll just say, yep, no big deal. Just send me the $750 and thanks for having it to me on Friday. If you're late 3 times, I from then on start collecting my late fees. Right. And unless it's just astronomical. Trust me, I've gotten to the point where I've had a person just not pay and I've still worked with them and said, hey, tell you what, you're struggling right now. How much do you have? Right. You know what we're going to do? You're going to have this, you're going to get to it, and you're going to pay me $50 extra month until we get this $800 paid off. And I will, and you're going to pay me that. Okay, that's great. I've kept a little bit and you're paying me an extra $50 until this is paid off.
Can I ask you a question as a landlord?
Yeah.
What percentage would you say are just deadbeats that don't give a shit?
In my portfolio, in general.
In your portfolio?
Nothing currently.
Okay.
Have I had it? Yes.
Okay. What percentage have you had in your portfolio the years you've done this?
Percentage wise, if I've had 100 tenants, 2, maybe 3. So 2, maybe 3%.
So let me ask you this, because you and I talk about this a lot. Do the people that you deal with just say, fuck you, I don't want to pay? Or
there's a difference.
Do they want to pay and not necessarily have the means at that time?
My tenants are usually the latter, right?
Correct.
Now, when I managed, okay, if you ask me that percentage again, absolutely fucking insane.
What would you put that percentage on?
40
and
35.
Let me ask you this. Is it because that is a big company and they give a shit less?
They give a shit less about who they place.
And did the tenants then give a shit less about the company because the company's a bigger company?
No, not because it's a bigger company, because it's just shitty humans.
I mean, with your people, they know they're dealing with an individual that has a family and is trying to work.
Correct.
But with the company you managed, it's just a faceless company.
Correct. Who's the owner? I want to know who the owner is. Blah, blah, blah. I want to talk to the owner. You don't get to, right? Like they hired me, so that way you have no idea who they are.
Right.
Right. Like I'm the asshole. Right. So, but like,
yeah. And when they look at you, they're like, well, you're not the owner, so fuck off. I really don't give a shit if I pay.
Well, in a company, if you think about it, right? So we go back to the late fee thing. Okay. So it is systematically just in there. Okay. So my system states check mark, not check mark. Okay. Next day, no check mark. No. Gets a late fee. Boom. It just instantly adds it. It doesn't take an emotional consideration. It doesn't take in the fact that anything of your life happens. It just says no check mark. Late fees instantly added. Right. There's no any part of a mental thought. It is a system. It is straight just said, this is what it is. Right. You don't get that. Right. So I've given other landlords money away. I'm going to tell you how. So we have a tenant who absolutely sucked. She kind of she wasn't great. But heat went out in her unit. We took care of it. My maintenance guy that was on site down an hour away was being a shitty human being. And so I talked to the girl and I was like, hey, it was actually an issue 1 floor below you. Would you mind bringing the space heaters down to her? Because boiler systems have zone valves. 2 happen to just go out kind of back to back, right? We fixed one and then the guys weren't there. And so then the second one. So she brought it down. Granted, not a great tenant, right? Mind you. And actually when she moved out, just absolutely horrible. Stuffed stuff into the walls.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just like that bad. But still, right? I talked to the owner and I was like, hey, can I have $10? He's like, what? I was like, I'm going to charge you $10 because I'm not going to do it out of mine because it's not my tenant. He goes, for what? I was like, I'm going to buy her a Big B Coffee gift card. And he's like, why? And I was like, because she walked the stuff downstairs for us because our on-site manager wouldn't go get them. And so I want to give her a thank you for doing something for us. And he goes, fuck, all day, dude, all day. So I text the tenant and I was like, hey, what's your email? Blah, blah, blah. why? And I was like, just, I'm going to send you something. And she goes, okay, get her a $10 gift card. And I was like, hey, this is a $10 gift card. Thank you so much for bringing those heaters and making sure that another person was comfortable. And she goes, thank you. So right. She became a decent tenant for that little bit of time.
Right.
But like during that time frame, but because that's who I am as a fucking person. Right. People and so that's why this guy, what he did hurts me so much.
And you just said it hurts you.
Very much.
It doesn't necessarily make you mad. I mean, it makes you mad.
I was mad at the beginning, but
But
like now I'm just like,
it hurts you because at the end of the day, that's not you.
it's not.
Going back to my shit. Have I fucked up? I've absolutely fucked up. Did I do awful things? I absolutely did awful things. Am I a horrible person? I'm not a horrible person.
Nope.
Do I hate myself? Every fucking day. Every minute of every fucking day. Have I turned into an alcoholic? Absolutely. Why? You and I talked about this the other day. So I don't drink to excess because I have to. I do it because when I start drinking to excess, for a moment, I don't hate myself.
No.
And I like not hating myself. So I drink a little more. And then I drink a little too much. And then I wake up the next morning and I fucking hate myself all over again because not only am I a horrible fucking person in my mind, but I drank to excess, which makes me a 10 times horrible person. I've said for, I don't know, the last 9 months to my wife, yeah, I'm an alcoholic. And she goes, I don't ever see you go to meetings. Right. And I'll never go to meetings because I'm not religious.
Yep.
I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. And Alcoholics Anonymous is very Christian based.
Is it really?
It is. That ain't me. I will never go to fucking meetings. But it doesn't mean I'm not a fucking alcoholic.
Right. And so I want to share this, right? These words came through and tell me how this hit you. Honestly, I was hitting you up earlier. I wanted to go get fucked up, but deep down inside, it does nothing to me. Right? Like, that came, that I'm not going to share anything, but like, so we know that that's the right answer, but like, that for those little bit of time, you don't have to worry. You don't have that worry. Yes, no. If we're dealing financially, we have that worry after we're done drinking and spent the money. But like,
for a little bit, the pain doesn't hurt.
It's not there.
You're okay.
Yep.
People like you.
Yep.
You're a person that isn't fucking horrible.
No. And
then after the drink stop, you're just a horrible fucking human being again, and everybody hates you.
Yep.
And for you and I, that's tough to take because we're both very empathetic people.
Very empathetic people.
And we want people to be successful and we want them to have a good life. And at the end of the day, we want to add to that. But sometimes we get hurt. And when we get hurt, watch the fuck out.
Yep.
Because when we get hurt, we're looking to hurt everyone around now. If you're in the vicinity, we're going to fucking hurt all of you. And that sucks.
Yep.
I mean, it sucks because that's not what we want, but we don't know how to deal with it.
No, we haven't learned any other way.
I mean, I've been going to therapy since my aunt died in the end of 2015. And yeah, I think I've made progress, but I still want to hurt everyone around me when I'm in pain.
Right.
And unfortunately, I'm in a lot of pain.
Me too, physically.
Physically, mentally, emotionally.
No, I get it. And, we struggle with what we do and how we do it. And, looking at it, there's not, I know what I'm doing is a good business and it's a good thing. Right. But there's not part of me that says, hey, sell everything and I'll live comfortably. Right. Like, we but then I think I would hate myself because I'm not doing something. Right. Like, I can't hate myself.
So Saturday, Mike came up. We watched the Cubs game on the porch. I had sent you a text. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And then Christy came down and, she kind of hung out for a little bit with her son, Eli. And then after she left, Mike's like, hey, I'm tired. It's 7th inning. I'm going to go home. I'm like, cool. I start bringing the stuff in, and then Jim and Wendy came by, so I brought the stuff back out, and we watched the end of the Cubs game and some of the White Sox game because I was just putting baseball on at that point. And we talked for a while, and then they left, and a little bit after 10, Dawn gets home. Hey, you look like you had a really good day. A bunch of people you love, they came over, they saw you. You must be feeling great. Yeah, it was fine. But everybody that came over, you absolutely loved. I mean, those are some of your best friends. You must have had a great day. It was fine.
Yep.
Well, what do you mean it was just fine? I mean, you know, you love seeing Jim and Wendy, and you love seeing Christy, and you absolutely love the shit out of Mike. What do you mean it was just fine? I'm like, it was just fucking fine, okay? I really don't want to fucking talk about it anymore. Well, fine. I don't want to talk to you then. It's fine because I'm not in a good headspace.
No.
And I really enjoyed seeing those people. But sleeping for the entire fucking day would have been just fine.
Well, and I called you this week, and right, I told you I'm like, I'm in bed, just laying here. I just don't want to go do anything. I don't have any drive. I don't have any ambition. I just, right, I'm content with curling up. And again, pre-COVID Nick was a social fucking butterfly. You couldn't keep me in my house. I didn't know why I owned a house, right? Like, I wanted to be gone 24/7. Now I want to be home. Nothing. There's things that bother me, but it's like stuff I don't necessarily want to talk about, or I don't even know, like, because you can only talk about things so much, right? We can only talk about this mental health before people get tired of hearing about it, right? You just, hey, I'm not going to listen anymore. And those that are still sticking around, thank you. But like, we understand that you can only listen to somebody bitch so much. So it's like my wife, if I'm having a bad day or whatever, and I just sit there, what's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. All right, I guess I'll stop asking. What's wrong? It's like, man, like, what's wrong is I don't feel good about myself. Well, why? Well, I don't need you to sit here and toot my horn and tell me that, hey, you and I talk about this. One of the biggest things with you and I, okay, I'm sitting here bitching about money. And if I told you how much money I had in my bank account, you would, 99% of a fucking America would laugh at my ass and go, God, you're such a rich, entitled piece of shit. Right? But my comfort level of what I have, what me personally, like my wife, right? I told her I don't have money for this fucking trip. You have money, you just don't want to use it. You're absolutely right, because this is my zero. I'm literally at zero. I'm what I would consider credit carding my future of my life if I borrow more of that money. And I don't do that, right? Like,
you and I were talking about my finances.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I got to pay this huge ass fucking bill off by the end of October.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, listen, last 18 months, 2 years, this is what I've used to pay for shit because I have to find ways. And I go through that shit alone.
Yep.
Because my wife doesn't want to know about it. She doesn't care. She does not have any vested interest in the household funds. That's what I do. And she feels she does enough other things that she can just ignore it. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Yep.
So when I'm sitting there looking at this, I'm like, all right, how do I come up with, X number of dollars, doll hairs, by the end of October, so that I'm not assessed any kind of interest charge on this big ass fucking bill.
Yep.
And of course, while I'm doing that, I owe my daughter $3,400. I owe my mother $3,800. I owe medical $10,000 because I've had to borrow money here and there because, my wife makes X number of dollars and I make more than that, but it's still not enough to be where I need it to be. I can't hit that sweet spot yet.
Yep.
And once I get some of this shit paid off, I'll be in the sweet spot. But I have to get it paid off.
Yeah.
Now, is it insane that I've gone on 3 cruises in a year and a half, almost 2 years? Maybe. But I tried to die 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I basically,
different outlook.
Well, I basically made the decision then that if I want to do something, I'm just going to fucking do it because I almost died and I didn't have a chance to do some things.
Yep.
So,
but you're not spending money that you You're not going into
I'm not going into
actual,
debt.
you're not going into interest accruing debt.
Right. I will have the money to pay it off before it's due.
Right. It's just money's got to move around different places.
It
right?
does. And
Like,
and unfortunately, I'm the one that deals with that alone.
Yep. And it's hard. Like, let's just call it, just for shits and giggles. Okay. So if I have $10,000 sitting there and I originally had 20
Mhm.
and I went and bought stuff for my flips and done whatever, and now I'm officially at 10,000. Like, yes, do I still have $10,000? Yes, but like that original 10 was just meant for this one specific purpose. The rest of it was like, hey, I know that these things are going to happen, blah, blah, or I made the choice to go spend this on this, but this is meant for this. And now if I have to touch that, now I'm fucked, right? Like, and I don't want to get into that point. So to me, it's, yes, do I have the money? Sure. But I don't want to, because it's intended for this purpose and this purpose only.
And you
Right.
want to use it for what you've intended it for, not necessarily what you have to use it for.
Right. And do I know, the funny thing is okay, so like here, we'll walk it through and it's like, do I know that that money will come back once, these things pay off? Yes. But I also thought it wouldn't go to this point, right? So it already hit strike one. I don't want to get to strike two, right? Because what if this doesn't happen? What if this doesn't happen? I don't want to get to any more than the first what if, right? And that's how I live my life, right? The first thing is called a warning. Everything else after that is called failure, right? Like, hey, I mean, you said, hey, I borrowed money from my daughter. I borrowed money from my mom, blah, blah. That's like absolute last resort. I just got off the phone before I walked into here talking with my wife. I was talking to a very good friend of mine who we used to talk every day. And I told him, I said, and Scott, like, absolutely. And it was funny. I said, I was so stressed about money and I'm at this point of things. And I said, I talked to myself and I said, you know what? It's funny. I said, if I absolutely need to, what can I do? I said, I guaranteed if I called Scott and said, hey, I need 30,000 for 2 months until this place gets flipped. Could you just float me? Check would be in the fucking mail and it'd be there. Right. And I said, I've never had anybody who's just willing to do that for me just to make sure I'm okay. Right. And he goes, in a fucking heartbeat. He goes, I'd never want that call. Guaranteed it's fucking there. And I said, yep. And I said, the exact same is there. The difference is, right, I'm gonna fly down to fucking help you physically do something. I'm not gonna financially help you out. And he goes, I know, right? He goes, you're there for this. He called me about stuff. He owns properties up here or whatever, and he's from a different state. And he's like, dude, he goes, I know if I need something, I literally can just call you and you'll make it happen. Yeah, you're not gonna do it on a constant. I'm not gonna take advantage. I said, I never want you to call me, but if that's what has to happen, because, it's funny. It's not funny. I say that because it's ironic. I just start using that word. We've known each other for very little time, but I already am the person who's taking over his entire real estate portfolio if something happens, because he knows for a fact I'll make sure his wife gets taken care of the correct way, just as much as you. Like,
when I tried to die,
Yeah.
what did I say to you?
It's on me, right?
Yeah. I'm like, you have to take care of this stuff because they don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah. And like, that's how much Scott respects me in this time. Like, that's how much I respect him, because, and it's hard, right? Because it's vulnerability, right? I put myself in a vulnerable state of where I'm at in a financial sense. And I get that, but I don't want to be vulnerable. So that's why I'm beating myself up, right? And again, if America knew how much money was there, they'd be just laughing, fucking joking, right? But you have to remember, I was comfortable. I took myself out of comfortability.
Well, and we've talked before because we had a listener question once that said, hey, I've heard it's better to invest your money instead of pay extra on your mortgage.
No.
And I said, absolutely, it's better. But you have to know what kind of investor you are. And for me, I'm the type of investor that I want to pay my mortgage off early. So when I'm in my 50s, I'm not sitting there going, I have a mortgage payment, because that's one of the biggest bills I have.
Yep.
I want to be able to say, I don't have a mortgage payment. I can do whatever I want to do with this amount of money, no matter what that is, invest it or take a vacation, whatever.
Yep.
You have to know who you are as a person to know what you're comfortable with or not comfortable with. You've made some decisions that have put you out of your comfortable zone.
Yep.
So you're not in that zone anymore. You know as well as I do, in 3 months, you're probably right back there.
Oh yeah.
But we're not 3 months from now. We're right now
We're
where
here.
you're not comfortable.
That's exactly it.
And knowing that you'll be comfortable at some point isn't comfortable enough.
I mean, sure, it lays that little bit of that's why I'm doing this.
Mhm.
It lays it out there, but it's not
Mm.
mentally helpful, right? Like, you know, I'm just not there. But like and I'm trying to tell myself, hey, this is what we do, this is how we do it. Let's make it happen, right? No, and I don't know. I think too much. I overthink things, right? I analyze where I'm at, what I want to do, right? And just like you, again, you can pay, and what people don't understand is, with your daughter, right? To be clear, it's not like you went to her piggy bank and just stole her money, right? Your daughter is 28.
Yep, she just turned 28.
Right? 28 years old. You funded most of her account.
Yep.
In the first place.
I did.
And it's not like you're like, hey, that's my money, I'm taking it back. No, you said, hey, look, I can go get a loan for 3%, or I can pay my daughter a 3% interest rate. So you're paying your daughter interest and just saying, hey, would you like to make this loan to me? Or I could just go get it from a bank. And she's like, well, fuck, I'll make money. Okay, great. Like, seems like the smartest idea, right? I have a daughter that's 7. I don't take her money in any way, but I did take her money from her piggy bank and put it into a CD with her because she needs her handheld. Hey, you're going to make 4%. I don't want to make 4%. You're right. I want to make 60, but like, kid, 4 is the max I can get you right now. Cause yeah, that's what I got for you. Oh, okay. So she hates savings. It's funny because like we do this, and I have a kid who absolutely loves to fight me. Savings is so stupid. I should be able to put whatever I want in spending. You could live an average life, kid, and do average things and be that average person. Or you can thank me later down the road and understand that what I'm doing is going to make you financially more successful. And, I'm not going to sit here and get into that philosophy with the kids. I'm not going to be like, hey, do you know that 50% of marriages end because of money problems? You know that this happens? Like, hey, kid, I just want that to be one less problem. And you don't see it now, right? Because your one problem is you want every goddamn thing in the store and you only got $20 in discount. But you think if you had 40, you could buy everything. And it's not true, because guess what? You're going to buy the $40 thing today, and tomorrow we'll go and you'd be like, oh, I really want that thing. Like, see, exactly. Yeah.
It's one of the things, especially when I'm arguing with people, that I think is kind of lost on most generations, I'll say.
Yeah.
It was something I learned from George Carlin. Words matter.
Yeah.
And if I'm arguing with somebody, I choose my words very carefully, because I don't want them to come back and bite me in the ass.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, many of the people that I argue with don't necessarily choose their words wisely. They just say things. Diarrhea of the mouth is real.
Yep.
But you and I are both the type of people that we watch what we say, so that when somebody goes, well, you're an asshole because you said this. Right. I chose to say that. And because I chose to say that, you're right. I'm an asshole. But I did it for a reason. And if you don't like it, maybe you should look in the mirror and ask yourself why I was an asshole to you.
Right. And, that's everybody. And it's weird because we look at things and we go, hey, everybody has an opinion. And you're entitled to your opinion.
Absolutely.
And you and I both actually believe in that. I think I'm a little bit. I think honestly, it's weird because I used to be so much of a bigger hothead than you, right? I mean, I just was, man. And now I think I analyze things a little bit more than you do before just jumping to it, right? Like, I can't say that. I don't want to say that. I would say I'm able to analyze your things and other people's things to look at, right? We talk about your one incident with the person that's not allowed around.
Right.
And I come back with, hey, but you did these things and these steps to do this. Right? Like, you guys built a business based around this, right? And so you have to think about that support aspect.
You and Mike have both said to me, listen, you're hurt. That's cool.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean this person cannot come to the business and be a paying customer. And I've said, I don't really give a fuck. I don't want them around my shit. I don't want them at my house. I don't want them at my business.
Yep.
And both of you have been steadfast in your business was created for a reason. It was created to help people.
Right.
And if this person is going through stuff, which it sounds like they are, then they should be allowed to use your business. Now, should they hang out for 30 fucking minutes afterwards, bullshitting with the fucking staff? No, they shouldn't, which was another issue.
Right. Well, but then it goes to if they need it and it's an absolute, it's, you guys aren't an emergency thing. You're a
No.
thing. Hey, we can book it. If that person knows and they're hitting up somebody else that able to contact, great. Hey, David, is there a time you're not going to be here?
Mhm.
Because I'd like to have this person who's going through mental issues be able to come. You're going to get pissed. Yeah, sure. Like, oh, that's going to anger me. But you know what? Thank you so much for asking. And you're right. I won't be here. I'll be at softball for this period of time. And I will not show up during this period of time.
Yeah.
Please make sure they're gone right after.
Well, and I have relented to that. And again, you and I both have said, if a phone call was made before the person came
It'd
here,
be a whole different story.
it would have been a much different story. But I hop on cameras and I see a person that I've asked not to be here bullshitting with two fucking employees in the safety room. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm out.
Well, now it's wasting your hard-earned dollars because your employees aren't working.
Mhm.
It's not like it's building income streams of, hey, this person's going to go build your thing. Yeah, sure, they paid once, but they're not telling their friends. They're not bringing in the right crowd. They're not doing the thing. Like they've done nothing to benefit you except for one time for the 1 hour, 35 minutes that they were allotted, whatever it is. Like, right, good. You've used what you've paid for. Now I'm done giving you anything more. I'm not going to give you my people to talk to. I'm not going to give you a shoulder to cry on. I'm not going to give you that. I will give you the tools you need to make you successful. Nothing more. And that's how it should be.
Well, and not to get too much into it, because again, this is entirely my fault. I made this entire situation. I made this entire situation because, at the end of the day, I was hurt.
Yeah.
Certain things didn't happen that I felt should have happened. And I was excluded from some things I didn't feel I should have been excluded from.
Yep.
And I reacted harshly because I was drunk. Now, if I was sober, would I have reacted harshly? Probably would have chose my words a little more wisely, but they still would have hurt.
Yep.
They would have absolutely fucking hurt.
Yep.
Because I was hurt.
Yeah.
And whether I'm sober or drunk, when I'm hurt,
It's
if you're the
game over.
cause of that, you're gonna fucking hurt too.
Yeah. And that's how we react to things, right?
It is, unfortunately.
And our wives are not about that. You should be the bigger person. I wish you would do this.
I can't do that.
No, like who gets to, how do you get to pick what is the bigger person, right? Like I handled things and I felt I've handled it my way. I hope that this person wises up, right? Man, sorry. I don't know. I hope you guys understand that we're just like you. Yeah, your situations might not be the exact same. If you're going through stuff, again, please reach out. We're here. We might not always be in the greatest mindset, but today is a really fucked up day for me. And I'm not being facetious when I had 3 friends reach out to me today, which is such an honor, such a blessing, right? But I also understand, I came on here because it's like, man, it's my turn to talk. And I don't try to I will tell you, hey, I know how you're feeling. My one buddy's going through one of the exact fucking things I'm going through in my life, right? And it's something that we go through. We talked about that, right? Like when you're building a business versus, committing as much as you can to your family. As people, we feel like we're doing this. And then I had another buddy who's like, hey, just wanted to chat, they did, they said some stuff to somebody, kind of like what you did, that they regret. Because they're like, hey, I just had self-confidence issues and I didn't feel loved by this person. And I told them, hey, you're kind of making me feel like shit. And they're like, I shouldn't have, but still, plain and simple is I've had, and I love that people know that they can come talk to me. Right. And no matter what I'm going through, I'm going to try my hardest to help you.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, you take my phone call, I take your phone call just as much. And we're both just like, wow, fuck.
Well, again, you and Dawn aren't overly close,
right.
but when we had our little, issue, she shocked me because she called you.
Yeah.
Out of everybody, she called you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? That was the wrong person to call. And she goes, I needed to talk to you and you refused to talk to me.
Yeah.
So the closest thing I could do is I could call Nick because at least he knows how you think.
Yeah. Well, that was.
And I went, man, that's smart, actually.
It's not a, it's not a verbatim text, but basically that's what the text had kind of said. Hey, if you have a few minutes, if not, I understand. I just need to think the way, or I need to know how David would be thinking. And you're the closest I know to how David would think. And I'm like, that fucking sucks because I hate David. But right, like, and so I, and it was great because I want to help, right? And you know this, like I tell you this all the time. Every time you say some words that I don't agree with, I'm like, hey, I want you to think, and I want you to think about it real clearly, and I want you to understand that this is what you're saying. Yeah, and I repeat it multiple times through our conversation, and I say, hey, you've put this much effort in, and by the end of it, yeah, but I'm just hurt right now.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So there's still an opportunity for things to change, and you're open to having that mindset of a conversation and talk. Yep. Right. Because in the beginning, we started out as fuck you. I'm not talking to you. Don't fucking talk to me. This isn't going to fucking happen. There's zero chances you're going to fucking keep knocking and ringing that doorbell. And I'm going to fucking get up. Now it's, I might actually fucking crawl out of bed and yell through a door. Great. At least you've fucking made an attempt. And the fact is, if you don't give it, and I tell this to all of my friends, and that's one of the things I carry myself to do. If you don't give it full effort and give it all, then you can't quit, right? If you're not willing to put in every fucking drop and ounce of anything, you can't quit, right? Like, make sure you've made the right decision before you just as much as the end of life, right? Like, if you're thinking about this, make sure you've considered every aspect of it. Make sure you've gone through and you said, is this the fucking number one thing? Or is it because of what you're going through for this 1 second? Has every day of your life for the past X amount of years, whether you're 60, whether you're 10, whether you're whatever, and nobody, have you had that many bad days? Well, the past 6 months it fucking sucked. You're 10 years old, you're 12 years old, you're 20 years old. Guess what? So if 6 months have been bad, that means you've had 9.5, 11.5, X amount and a half fucking years of days that are great. Well, not every day. You're absolutely right. But there's days that were good. And think about the fact of how to get back to the days that were good. Think about what made you happy during those. Well, it was this person. Was it that person, or was it the things you did with that person? Was it the way that that person treated you? Find the person that treats you that way. Who's not out there? You found it once, right? I mean, fuck. Like, everything is there. And I want you to understand that there's so much more to this life, right? I want you to get, like, I want you to make the most educated decision. And that's fine, right? Like, if there's something that you're so set on that you're going to, let's talk about divorce, right? Me as a person, right? There's people who can get cheated on and still be with their significant other. It is like the utmost top thing.
Disrespect.
Right? Like, there's zero coming back from this. For me. Right?
Same.
Zero. And people might try to talk me out of it or whatever, right? But like, to me, that's the one thing I hold myself. No, never. Sure. Do I hit on other women? Yeah. Do I get hit on? Once in a blue moon. I still got it here and there. But I'm never going to cheat on my wife, right? My wife is never going to cheat on me because I've made it very, very clear. And that's not the only reason she's not cheating on me. Sometimes I think she likes me. But like, right? Like, that's the one. And no, we're not working it out. We're not anything. Straight up, it's done. It's game over. This isn't going to happen. And there's sometimes you can't talk people off that ledge. And I get that there's certain things that if it happened, you're not talking that person off the ledge. But if there's a glimpse of hope of anything, yeah, right, make it happen.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I want to be with my wife because I love my wife.
Yeah.
There are days I don't like her.
For sure.
But I absolutely do love her.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't want to be disrespected.
Yeah.
That's huge for me. And
Huge.
I felt because I laid my conditions, which is not at my house, not at my business.
Yep.
And she did the opposite. I saw that as disrespectful. I still do.
Yeah.
I see it as disrespectful.
Yep.
Now, did she not fully understand where I was coming from? Unfortunately, she did not fully understand where I was coming from.
Yep.
But she does now.
Say, but and then you look at, and when I make that point, it's jobs, right? If you're, oh, I can't leave this job because I absolutely love the people and I love this and I love that. Okay, what's keeping you, or why did you have the inclination to leave in the first place? Well, this person treats me bad, or I could make more money. Well, I want to do this because I care about the environment, but I know that this place is going to pay me more money. Who do you want to be as a person? Are you, well, I could really use the money. Great. Then put in the full effort, put in the whole pros and cons of, hey, if I leave, I have this, but if I stay, I have this. Do you want the people? Do you think that you can get, I mean, you built this relationship. You didn't know anybody you started to work with.
Mhm.
Can you go get that at your new place? I don't know. You never know until you try.
Right.
But now you're going to have more money and you can try to build, I don't want to build new relationships. You didn't want to build relationships in the first one either.
No.
I'll tell you what, and I hope all my friends listen to this and hear this. That's one of the biggest things I give my wife shit about. So I'm really good at making friends, and having people over, doing whatever.
Mhm.
Sometimes they're short stints of friendships. Sometimes they last for a lifetime. But I was like, hey, I want you to meet. And we were newly somewhat married. I talking to one of my now really, really great friends. And she's like, I was like, hey, you should go hang out with Kim. And I don't want to meet new friends. I don't have time for my friends that I have now. I'm like, I get that, but can you have too many friends? Right? Can you have too many people that you can constantly talk to? And now, hey, what are you doing? It's Thursday night. Well, I'm hanging out with Kim. Hey, and it's, well, we both have kids. Oh, so you guys have things in common? Oh, so you guys do actually get along? Oh, and all I really care about is, so I was right. But so now my wife, she'll me, hey, I want to go to this thing, and I really think you'll like, we'll use the name Kim's husband. And every time I'm like, I don't want to meet new friends. I don't have time for my friends I have now. She's like, you're such an asshole. And I was like, right? But I've changed your mind about meeting people. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, because you never know who's going to be great.
Well, Dawn tells me all the time she doesn't have friends. I don't have any friends.
Yeah.
Right. But part of that's on her.
Yeah.
Because she has people that really do care about her.
Very much.
But she still kind of stays at an arm's length away. Yeah. I was talking to Christy, and Christy's Dawn's friend. I mean, she's more my friend because she works with me, but she's also Dawn's friend.
Yep.
And she goes, well, Dawn's friends with Courtney. Right. Why the fuck she called Nick? Why didn't she call Courtney? Because Courtney could give her the same damn insight. She's married to the same man.
No.
But at the same time, it's not like Dawn went to one of her friends.
Right.
She went to two of my friends, which, okay, I get why you did. But she's of the opinion that I go to my friends because they're going to tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah.
But
do I tell you what you want to hear?
Never. I'm watching Sports Night the other day, and you know how I love Sports Night.
Yeah.
And Robert Guillaume plays Isaac Jaffe, and he's talking to one of his employees, and he goes, I'm a firm believer that if you're stupid, surround yourself by smart people. And if you're smart, surround yourself with smart people that disagree with you.
Yep.
And that's how I always approached coaching. Like, I brought Chris in as an assistant, not really knowing who he was.
Sure.
I thought his name was Todd. Okay. But I knew that everybody told me that this guy could hit. And the day after I said, yeah, why don't you come give it a shot this summer? Let's see what you got. We went to a slow pitch tournament that my daughter was playing in with Dawn's work.
Sure.
And I mean, Caitlin's 16 at the time. And Chris, the first time he was up, hit a ball like 400 feet. And I went, that's my new hitting coach. I mean, that was over, right? And people came up to me and they're like, God, what a great hire. He's so good. And I remember him saying to me at one point, he's like, yeah, I offered to help up at Coopersville, but the coach up there, he didn't want my help. And I'm like, right. He goes, I don't understand. I'm like, he's intimidated by you because you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
And he thinks that you're going to come in and steal his thunder. I, on the other hand, don't have an ego like that.
No.
You're going to come in and you're going to make my hitters better.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly it.
And I was happy with that because it makes me look smart.
Mhm.
I hired a smart guy that's really good at what he does. Now I look really fucking smart.
Yep.
And that's something I've always done. You didn't come in and agree with everything I did as a coach. There were plenty of things we argued about. That kid you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
We get done with that conversation. I'm like, fuck it. Just let the kid play volleyball. I don't give a shit. And you and Marv both looked at me and said, no, fuck her. She did the wrong fucking thing. She can sit out the 4 weeks or whatever it is.
Yep.
That's on her.
Yep.
The only fucking reason that kid was made to sit out is because the two of you were like, no, fuck that. She did the wrong shit. She has to pay the crime. And I'm like, I just don't care anymore. And you're like, no, you're going to fucking hold her to it, because if you don't, we're going to be up your ass.
I say we're quitting.
And I was like, okay, but you need people around you like that, because if you're not surrounding yourself with people that disagree with you, and not just disagree with you, but disagree with you for a good reason, you're not making yourself any better at anything. You and I don't see eye to eye on money. That's fine.
No.
But we can have those conversations and go, all right, I wouldn't do this, but I see what you're going for, and this is a good idea. Or you shouldn't do that because that's a really bad idea.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that specifically.
Yeah.
You said it earlier. How many cruises have you gone on?
I've gone on 3 in a year and a half.
Okay. And I'm going to take credit for most of that, at least the first one.
Yeah.
Because we sat and had a conversation about, David, you need to listen to your wife when she speaks. You need to understand that she needs this.
Yeah.
And I get that because you're in the same boat that nope, we got to earn, we got to save money, we got to do this. David, you're going to be unhappy because your wife's unhappy. And you don't see that. No. We'll get through it. David, doesn't matter if you get through it, right? Why don't you just try it? And if it doesn't work out, we'll figure it out. Pout, 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 pout. Fine, we're fucking doing it. That was the greatest fucking time of my goddamn life. What a fucking great time, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool, man. Hey, we're going another one. Hey, we're going another one. But plain and simple. I remember when you literally were so anti. And it's funny because I still see it now when you guys are like, oh, we're not going to go on all inclusives. And Courtney and I are and I don't give a shit if you go on all inclusive or not. I have a great time on vacation. Again, as long as you're going on vacation, you're having a good time, and you're not the David who's just a hermit fucking crab who's like, I got to work 900 hours a fucking week to make this fucking happen. I don't give a shit what you do. Plain and simple. Don't fuck, as long as you're happy.
Yeah.
Right. But when two people are unhappy and it could be fixed by $300, go be happy.
Right.
Right. Like, oh, well, we have this extra money over here. Great. You're not doing that, are you? Well, but it's already planned. Not anymore, is it? Your stupid, whatever you had to do that was for one of you is no longer happening because you can do 2 of you for the same price. Okay. And it took forever to convince you to finally just go on vacation.
I couldn't let myself enjoy that because I wanted to make sure that we would be okay.
Yeah.
And again, I have a big bill to pay off by October, and I got a cruise to pay off by August. And I'll pay them both off.
Yeah, I see you're going on another one, but that's the whole thing is right. Sometimes you're allowed to make those decisions because we're not fucking Dave Ramsey.
No,
we want you to enjoy your life, but do it in a financially responsible way without being too much of a financial. Again, I will never be the guy to tell you to stop drinking Starbucks if that's the thing that brings you the joy. If every day you wake up and you have a smile on your face because you're having this Starbucks, don't want you to stop ever. But I will tell you to look at your HBO, your Netflix, your Amazon, your Hulu, your this, your that, and say, hey, could we maybe cut back on one of those? Oh, and people will be like, well, $12 a month, that's only $120 a year, or $144 a year. That's not going to pay my $8,000 credit bill. Nope, you're right. It's not. It's fucking not. But you know what it's going to do? Make sure that $8,000 doesn't become fucking 50.
Yeah.
Right. What it's going to do is going to start training you to make some smart, better decisions. Right. When you go lease your next car, instead of having a $500 payment, because now you have a $400, but you're like, I have this extra. You might go to a $200 payment. So that way you're starting to pay down that debt. You're going to start making some smarter decisions. And again, me being the asshole, maybe by the end of this whole entire situation, by the end of it all, you take your 20-ounce venti latte caramel mocha macchiato and you're starting to buy 16 ounces because you're like, you know what? I just want to be out of debt. And then once you're finally out of debt, you go, I'm gonna go to 24 ounces because I can afford it because I'm out of fucking debt. And now you're back to fucking drinking the big boy ones. I'm fine with that. I'm not telling you to stop. I'm not telling you to do anything. All I'm telling you to do is if you have $2 that you saved on something, spend that fucking $2 paying your debt off. Every dime, pay it off. Like, that's the whole thing that we talk about. If you're doing this, should I overpay my house or should I invest? Well, the problem is if you're going to invest all of that. Make sure it's not, ooh, $2 here. Blah, blah. No, if your house payment's $776 and if you're going to pay $800, make sure you're investing that $24, right? Boom, make it happen.
You know what I bought this weekend?
Something stupid.
Stock in Anheuser-Busch.
So we went a little longer than we wanted to.
That happens.
But again, everybody that made it to the final, congrats, you made it. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family.
We will be back live. I don't know if we'll be live next week.
Wednesday
next week. Oh yeah, we have somebody, don't we?
Sure do.
We do. Drew, right?
Drew,
We have Drew, yes.
Young.
I will let you know what time because we have a ball game, but we should be done by 5:30, 5:45. So we should be able to go up by like 6:30.
Yeah, I think he's a 7 o'clock.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us. If you did make it to the end of this episode, I'm sorry it wasn't more Bucks related, but you know, sometimes we have to talk about our fucking mental health too, because that way we don't want them to go jump off a building. So we will see you guys next week. We'll get this episode up pretty soon. I did not publish one 2 days ago like I should have, but it's sitting there waiting to go. If you guys have show ideas, please let us know. And as Nick said, please like, subscribe, and share and tell everybody about us. We will talk to you guys very soon.
You've dialed in
To Box and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these
because
stuff.
they know the brews.
And they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, cause shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money, bucks,
and brews.
Bucks and
bucks,
brews.
And brews.
brews.
Bucks and brews.